What's going on? What's going on, people? Welcome, welcome, welcome. We got another episode of Coach G's Radical Man Show coming your way today. And guys, we got one hell of a topic we talking about today. What weighs more, the shame or your fame? Let's get into it. Let's get these shares out, guys. You watch me, share me. Sometimes technology ain't as fast as you quite want it, but it's getting there. It's getting there. It's getting there. There we go. Share time. Come on. I'll see you, Scott. Let's get it, baby. You going soon, brother. Getting some of these shares out right now. About two more here. This is probably the only time you guys like ever see me doing anything close to like dancing. My wife said that. She was like, look at you dancing. This ain't dancing, but this is a nice beat. All right, last share. All right, let's get this show rocking, baby. How we doing? How we doing? How we doing? Thank you, thank you, thank you. Scotty, I see you. Scotty, I see you. Listen, let's have a good talk today, guys. Let me get this set up just right. Perfect. All right, guys, let's have a talk. We'll start it off like this. I remember being in like middle school, and I was in a math class. And the teacher asked me this question. What weighs more? A bag of feathers, a bag of lead pellets, or, I'm sorry, let me correct that. A pound of feathers, a pound of lead pellets, or a pound of diamonds. And I remember trying to be so smart when I first got this question. And I was like, ugh, a pound of feathers, a pound of diamonds, a pound of lead pellets. Well, the feathers, of course, right? The pound of feathers have to weigh less than, than the pound of lead pellets and the pound of diamonds, right? And then I looked and I was like, yeah, of course. And then of course, lead pellets, diamonds, maybe the diamonds are heavier. So it's going to go a pound of feathers, and then a pound of pellets, and then a pound of diamonds. And if you happen to be like me, you're like, okay, Coach G, that might make sense. If you happen to be that like smart dude in the class, which back in the day would get on my nerves because you were smart. But if you're that dude, then you realize first off that this is a trick question. Everything's a pound. Doesn't matter if it's a pound of feathers, pound of lead pellets, a pound of diamonds. It's all exactly the same. So as we start our conversation today, guys, we're looking at, well, what weighs more? Your shame or your fame? And you probably see the direction I'm going just with the first, little conversation we've had here, right? That little math, quiz we had there, right? We're going to show how they both operate the same. So let's take a look at both of those, right? Shame and fame. Shame and fame. One means like so horrible, you want to curl up in a ball and not ever be seen. And then you got fame, right? Everybody wants to have that fame. Maybe they don't want to have it, but fame tends to imply a good thing, right? People are, if you're famous, right, then people know you for hopefully a good thing, right? Shameful, then you're not known for really a great thing, maybe. Full of shame. All those kind of things. Opposite ends of the spectrum. But yet, whether you're a man, whether you're a woman, especially though if you're a man and you're having to carry something a little bit deeper right now, right? Maybe you're having to carry an addiction. You got to carry consequences from the past. Maybe you messed up at work somewhere. Maybe you let your body go off some particular place. Maybe your relationships aren't in the best place you want them to be right now. Maybe it's just like you inside of here ain't at a great place. And you're kind of stuck like, okay, you know what? I'm dealing with a lot of shame right now. These areas of my life aren't going well. And you got to say, well, man, what's going to balance out what? The shame or the fame? And here's what I want you guys to know. See, unfortunately, what ends up happening with a lot of men is that when the shameful thing comes along, we try to get out here and do something that will garner us just as much fame. I want you to hear me out on this right now, right? I mean, we do the shameful thing, right? We do the shameful thing like what? Maybe you lose your job. Something shameful, right? Maybe, who knows, small scale, right? Maybe you overlook the birthday. You forget about the anniversary you got, right? So what do we go out here and do? A lot of us, if you're dealing with the shame, especially with me and I lost my job, I'm not coming through the door saying I lost my job. What man does that, right? Traditional men do that, not radical men. I wasn't going to come through the door and admit my shame to anyone. Instead, I'm going to come in the door, I'm going to advocate and start speaking about my fame, and then the next day I got to go out and try to find something that's going to back up what I just put out. I forget my wife's birthday or anniversary, and what do I end up doing is that I say, you know what? I'm going to get out here and I'm going to try to bring some measure of fame. Maybe that means I buy her something. We go out to eat. We have a dinner one time, right? Or a special treat to try to cover up that shame. And here's what I want us to get to first is that we're trying to cover up one equally weighted thing with another equally weighted thing. And what you've only really done is just put twice the weight on you. Because here's the deal. When you act that way, you don't actually handle the shame of the moment. You don't. You don't even get to deal with it to the point when you get past it being something shameful now. Instead, you just went and said, let me pack on something to add some fame to my name about it. And we think that's done the deal, but yeah, over a while we realize that now we got a little bit of extra pressure on us right now. You see, we got the pressure of hiding our shame, and now we got the pressure of continually finding enough fame, something to give us a better name, that we can keep heaping on top of that. And we wonder why this load gets tough over time. We wonder then when we get to the questions that say, well, what weighs more? A pound of feathers or a pound of lead? And we're like, give me the feathers because the lead is killing me right now. It's the exact same thing. We got to learn to look at this completely differently, though, than when we're talking about our shame and our fame. So what's the key to this then, George? I mean, what are you saying right now? Like, what should I do with my shame? How am I supposed to be able to hold my shame if you don't want me to just dump some more fame on top of that? Well, here's a crazy thought right now. What if the shame actually was able to transform? Yeah, what if the shame was able to transform into fame? What if we were able to take that thing that we were so ashamed about? What if we were able to take that pound of lead pellets and turn it now to either the pound of feathers or the pound of diamonds, instead of you having to carry like the lead and the diamonds? Am I saying you ever get rid of your shame? Well, yes, I am saying that. Am I saying that event ever goes away? No, that doesn't go away. But how you decide to move forward thinking about that is what's going to be the determining factor in it, though. But either way, from every situation, you're going to walk away with something. So step one of this deal is that if we're looking at the shame, well, then number one says we got to just confront it. And I'm going to keep bringing you guys back to last lessons, past lessons. So if you're a first-time viewer on my show, Anthony, I see you, bro. How you doing? Beautiful family, man. But look, if this is your first time on the show, look, get to my YouTube page. Look at all the rest of the videos. We're going to talk about, again, mindfulness. That's how we first break down shame. What's mindfulness say? Being present in the moment. What's the most important part? Without judgment. You see, that's where the shame starts coming from, is that we're either accepting judgment or we're giving judgment to ourselves. This ain't the good shit. This is the you a piece of shit kind of judgment. That's what we're putting out right now. What we have to do is be mindful about it and say, you know what, let's make this an even Steven right now. Like, forget the good, forget the bad. This situation is what it is. Honey, I forgot the anniversary. Let's just deal with it. Next step, what can you now do? What's the next action you can do to show that you can grow from this area of shame? Let me help you out right now. It's not really shame once you confront it. Once you confront it, now it's just an issue. Like once you approach it with mindfulness, well then the shame part goes away, because shame is about how you want to feel. You feel so disgusted with yourself. You're so embarrassed. You're so ashamed. You're so withdrawn. All of that is about, And what do I keep telling you guys about your thoughts? Your first thoughts are full of crap. Namely, it's full of your ego, your emotions, and your experiences, and that's limiting you right now. Own up to the shame. You got exposed. You missed out on something. Dropped the deadline. Missed the payment. Whatever the case might be. Own up to it. Step up to the plate and just acknowledge it. Then figure out what is the very next step you can do to begin to change it. I missed the date, honey. Now I'm realizing that, you know what? I put our anniversary in our phone, but silly me, I only put it on the day of our anniversary. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to bump this up 2 weeks, so that gives me enough prep time. It's not that I don't remember you, sweetheart, but I do need to make sure I have things going in a certain order for me. Shame is transitioning right before your eyes. Can you see my hand? Transitioning right before your eyes, right into fame. Because next year comes around, you got a 2-week head start right now. That alarm hit, bam. Whoa! Anniversary's in 2 weeks. Now it's time to do something. What? Maybe you relapsed. Maybe you finally just came to terms that says, you know what? I need to get help in this area. I got to get help with my weight. I got to get help with my well-being. I got to get help with these habits, these compulsive habits that I have. I got to get help with how I handle my relationships, with how I handle my bonds. I need help with how I'm handling my business right now. Own up to it. Once you own up to it and you claim it, shame starts dissipating. Once you take the next step of action into it, keep in mind, I didn't say solve it with the next step. I didn't say, do everything except maybe one step with the next step. Do the next thing that is right in front of you that you can do. Period. You want to turn shame into fame. It's simply about being mindful about what happened and taking the next step so that you don't have to be consumed with that area of shame. When my guys come to me and I have them come out here and we put in some work, I'll help them understand that what you're great about, the fame of you, and the shit in your life, the shame of you, it's the exact same thing in weight. They weigh the same. It's only a question of about how are you going to carry it. How do you choose to carry your shame? How do you choose to carry your fame? Some of you guys are carrying your shame in the most awkward ways that makes you can't even function through life anymore. And some of you guys are placing your fame in such a place right now where it's not allowing you to see the things that you need to change, that people are looking around you saying, dude, look at this. You can't be so stuck on fame. Listen, brothers, the shame game, the blame game, the fame game, it's all the same game. The sooner you understand that you can be the exact same person operating with fame and shame, the sooner you're going to be able to grasp the tools and the little lessons you're going to get from what you think you should be shamed about. I used to be ashamed about having a compulsive habit around prescription drugs and around sex and porn. And guys, I'm sorry, I created a whole new career out of this thing. Like, you want to talk about dealing with shame versus fame? I got an 8-year-old. This dude hops out of school, tells his mama about his day. Mom, guess what? Today we was talking about what our parents do, and my teacher said, well, what do your parents do? And I said, well, my dad, he's a coach and works with people who are like have sex addicts and male identity issues because he used to have one and dealt with that stuff as well. And my mom, she's developing a clothing line for people who deal with trauma. It's called Traumatire because she's dealt with mental health issues. And he says it all with a freaking smile. Not the kind of smile that says, ha ha, mom and dad, but he's like, I'm so freaking proud. This is what my peoples are doing. This is what my mom and what my dad do. No shame. Now, of course, you hear that coming from my wife a little bit. It happens, right? Oh my gosh, you said what? You said this to who? You said this what? Oh. Guys, listen, once you get past the shame and you can be mindful, you really give, what's the expression? To, you know what it is, to whatever anybody else ever has to say about your now new pursuit of fame. Listen, guys, before I go, because I got 2 little ones here that are begging me to get these cinnamon rolls going right now and to spend some time with them this summer. But listen, your shame and your fame carry the exact same weight. To get rid of your shame, I'm going to ask you to double the weight with fame. I'm asking you to turn that shame into your area of fame, your area of greatness, by being mindful and taking the next action towards it, being consistent, and just follow through with the damn thing. Look, guys, it's Coach G. As always, catch me Monday through Friday, 11:15 to 11:45. Let's get this work in. Give me a call if you need me to break this down for you a little bit more one-on-one. 443-600-9169. Shoot me an email. You guys know how to get in contact. Drop a comment for those that's part of the call today. Love you guys. Know each of y'all personally, so you know I mean it when I say I love you. Talk to you guys soon. Peace. Kick ass.